Madam Clerk, the time is now 7 p.m.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call this regular Township Council meeting to order. Roll call, Councilwoman Perone.
Present.
Councilman Anderson has an excused absence this evening. Councilwoman McIntosh.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy.
Present.
Mayor Whitfield.
Present.
Thank you very much. Leading us in prayer tonight is Willingboro Chaplain James Parrish. I'd like to invite him up to the mic.
Good evening, Chaplain Parrish. Amen. Thank you, Chaplain Parrish.
Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Compliance statement. Notice was provided in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 to the Burlington County Times, Trenton Times, and Philadelphia Inquirer, stating the date, time, place, and the agenda to the extent it was known. Additionally, notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening, everyone. So at this time, we will have a proclamation for Anthony Williams Sr.
Resolution of Life in honor of Anthony Williams Sr. Whereas the township pauses to honor the life and legacy of Anthony Williams Sr., a devoted husband, father, grandfather, educator, businessman, mentor, and man of faith whose life was defined by service, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to uplifting others. And whereas born on November 22nd, 1960 in Harlem, New York City, Anthony was raised in a large, close-knit family that instilled in him strong values of love, responsibility, and community. Affectionately known as Bubba, Rome, and later Big Tone, he formed lifelong friendships and meaningful connections that endured throughout his life. And whereas Anthony's passion for hospitality began in childhood through his family's restaurant, Seafood Haven, ultimately leading him to proudly operate Seafood Haven in Willingboro, New Jersey, where he and his family created a welcoming space that brought people together and strengthened community bonds. And whereas Anthony dedicated his professional life to education, earning a bachelor's and master's degree in education from the City College of New York, serving as a bilingual special education teacher in New York City, Philadelphia, and Willingboro, and mentoring countless students with compassion, accountability, and joy. His exceptional service was recognized with the Lindback Foundation Distinguished Teaching Award in 2011. And whereas beyond the classroom, Anthony continued to guide and support young people as a mobile therapist, forming lifelong relationships rooted in trust, encouragement, and genuine care, and was fondly remembered for his infectious laughter, generosity, and unwavering belief in the potential of every student. And whereas Anthony shared a lifelong love and partnership with his beloved wife, who's with us today, Annette, with whom he raised a family, traveled the world, and served the community through hospitality, fellowship, and service. Their home was a place of warmth, celebration, and welcome to all. Whereas Anthony's faith was central to his life, baptized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses in 1991, he served faithfully as an elder in the East Willingboro congregation and in numerous capacities, known for his empathy, availability, and loving counsel, leaving a lasting spiritual impact locally and abroad. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on this 22nd day of January 2026, Mayor Samantha E. Whitfield and the entire Township Council of the Township of Willingboro, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, do hereby honor and celebrate the life of Anthony Williams Sr., recognizing his extraordinary contributions to education, faith, and community, and extends its deepest sympathy to his loved ones. And be it finally resolved that the resolution of life be entered into the official records of the Township of Willingboro as a lasting tribute to a life well lived and a legacy that will continue to be remembered.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Worthy. If Ms. Annette would come up and receive this proclamation.
We have to find it. Yeah. I will say.
All right, thank you, Ms. Annette, for being here this evening. We all loved Tony so much and love Seafood Haven. So know that the Willingboro community is here for you and behind you. And he will be deeply missed. All right, and now we'll turn it over to Mr. Harris for our resolutions overview or for your updates.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. My report this evening provides a concise narrative of township operations and departmental performance for December of 2025, with our emphasis on service delivery, fiscal status, and the operational priorities that will carry into 2026. From a financial standpoint, the township closed December with a year-to-date revenue of approximately $51.3 million. Expenditures were reported at approximately $49.4 million year-to-date. Our December disbursements were approximately $4 million, driven primarily by payroll and employee benefits. We did pay to the Board of Education $3.3 million, and year-to-date grant revenues realized total approximately $1.68 million. From a public safety operations, they remain active on both the community engagement and incident response fronts. The police department is still reported at 20 sworn officers with
70.
70 sworn officers, with one officer being deployed for a 12-month tour with the Air National Guard. Through December, police supported multiple community-focused initiatives and holiday events while continuing resident outreach and crime prevention messaging, including reminders to secure our vehicles and remove valuables, given the increased vehicle burglaries reported not only here in Willingboro, but statewide. Chief Bucks will be out of commission for a few weeks, but when he returns, he will be presenting the annual crime statistics for Willingboro, and I trust you will be pleased with the dramatic decreases in 2025. Our fire and EMS operations included significant incident responses within the township, including a residential structure fire and a vehicle fire, along with numerous mutual aid responses to our neighboring municipalities. Going forward, a key improvement is ensuring that performance dashboards in the public safety sections are fully populated each month in their reporting. Public Works concluded the fall season while pivoting into the winter readiness. Leaf collection was completed 7 working days after the December 31st deadline, largely due to the December snow events that shifted operational priorities. DPW also advanced winter capabilities by procuring a Snow Raider machine, with a plow attachment and a brine tank to strengthen snow and ice response at our municipal buildings. Facilities-related issues remain in operational focus, highlighted by emergency repairs to the library boiler systems, including multiple boiler-related events that require requisitions and follow-up. DPW also pursued reimbursement work related to county road maintenance and snow operations, invoicing approximately $22,800. Routine service delivery continued across sanitation, stormwater, recycling, and roadway maintenance, with monthly metrics in the full report reflecting the ongoing field activities being conducted in the Department of Public Works. The Inspections Department reported a high volume of activity and continued progress on compliance. In the reporting period, the department conducted 861 inspections. They identified 373 violations, with 31 summonses being issued and 444 matters brought into compliance or closed. Activity remained high across construction permitting and updates, UCC inspections, rental and resale inspections, zoning permits, and certificates of compliance. The report also notes 164 residential and 20 commercial vacant properties, underscoring a continued need for discipline enforcement and stabilization measures here in Willingboro. Department revenues totaled approximately $72,165 across construction, rental, and resale activity, zoning certificates, and vacant property registrations. Recreation update reflects ongoing programming, internal operations work, and forward planning. December included a signature community program event, continued sports program activity, and registration and preparation for CPR AED training for volunteers and staff. The department has clarified chain of command expectations. They have realigned responsibilities, addressed some outstanding billings, and continued volunteer coach background checks. Recreation also held a successful recreation summit on January 14th of this year, while advancing summer camp planning and targeting a May launch for a community drone program. Additionally, the department has begun engagement with the New Jersey Film Commission through the Film Ready Towns framework, with the next step requiring development of a township film ordinance and code of conduct, so this initiative is structured, enforceable, and aligned with municipal standards. A notable operational and revenue development in township support functions is the progress in facilities management and rentals. Ms. Lorraine Spellman, who has taken over the facilities management and rental functions, has recorded just a little bit over $21,000 in rental space revenue since November. She has also reported that Saturday bookings for 2026 are fully filled, with only a few Friday spots left available. I think this is a strong indicator of demand and confirms that facility rentals can be a meaningful revenue stream here in Willingboro in 2026, provided that we continue disciplined scheduling, clear contracts, fee compliance, and tight operational oversight to protect township assets and minimize risk. Our human resources continues to focus on its core responsibilities for personnel records and civil service governed personnel matters. The department has reported completing their 2025 employee reviews and are moving forward in our plans for biannual reviews starting this year. Vital Statistics continues to be a high volume, high service area that also generates meaningful revenue. In 2025, the township processed 180 marriage applications, coordinated 85 wedding ceremonies. Certified records volumes remain substantial, including 1,400 birth certificates, more than 300 death certificates, 375 marriage certificates, with total Vital Statistics revenue reported for 2025 at approximately $78,815, inclusive of state mandated fees that must be remitted to the state of New Jersey. Projects are still moving forward here, with the track and field at JFK still under construction. Even though there have been some weather delays, we are still moving forward. We have met with the vendor for the dock installation at Crystal Lake, and we need to commence with the design of the parking area and dock access ramps. The pickleball courts in Jake's Place approvals have been held at New Jersey Green Acres as they are awaiting the redevelopment plan specifically for the bathroom facilities, which needs to be submitted before we receive their final green light to go ahead out to bid and begin construction. So we are going to work with either Remington Vernick or CME to get that fast tracked. We had discussed it, but I did not know it was that essential that Green Acres would not move forward with the approval unless that plan was included. Our biggest holdup has been the design of, one of our biggest holdups has been the design of the food pantry, mainly because of the amount that have been requested for the engineering services. We have one proposal at $170,000 to design that space, and that would encompass pretty much all of the, or a good portion of the grant monies. So we have been able to procure the services of an engineer who specializes in restaurant spaces. And they gave us a really reasonable proposal, so we will be moving forward to contracting with them. The Big D Marina has been a lengthy process. However, the attorney has reported that the motion for final judgment requires a signed certification from the county clerk's office and the attorney general's office. And once his office his office is in the process of attempting to obtain those documents. Once received, then they will be able to file for final judgment. And once that is granted, that property will be turned over to the ownership of Willingboro Township. The township also intends to perform a drainage improvement along Tipton Lane from Topeka Pass to Tioga Lane. We are anticipating that construction on that project to begin in the summer of 2026, and Remington Vernick is moving forward with that project. We are also going to begin to work to potentially install speed humps on Evergreen and Tyler. And if there are any additional streets that you would like us to consider, please let me know, and we will take those into consideration as budgets allowed, or maybe develop an annual plan as to rectify or satisfy the request for each street yearly moving forward. I did receive a report today from Remington Vernick that the outfall on Paget Lane has fallen into the creek. This is going to be a major repair, but it will be essential and will be completed as an emergency, as it could potentially develop into a major failure affecting the road, the sidewalks, and the sewage infrastructure. RVE was out there this morning inspecting it, and I am awaiting their final report. We are also investigating another serious issue at Plum Tree and Potter, and it may be beneficial for us to abate that situation while the contractor is dealing with Pageant Lane, which is almost literally right down the street. So in closing, the December report reflects a township organization that is delivering core services and maintaining momentum into 2026. And that concludes the December 2025 narrative report.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Any questions from council? Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Harris, for the comprehensive update. I had a few questions. Have we received an updated design for the LRC at the JFK Center? We haven't received that yet. Okay. Are we aware of any additional delays as related to the Performing Arts Center?
I am not.
We're not aware of any of those. Okay, thank you. And I appreciate all the work that the administration is doing under your leadership. It's very meaningful to see the progress throughout the town. And as you know, council is also very curious and concerned about morale. I was wondering if you could share, how is the morale? How do you think employees would describe morale right now in this busy season, as so many things are going on, lots of changes, lots of progress? How would you describe it? And how do you think employees would describe morale?
That's an interesting question. The way the morale, I feel the morale is, I feel it's in up. I feel that essentially employees are satisfied with the way that the township is moving overall, but there are the issues that are pertaining to the employees that, you know, they give me the boo-boo thumbs down.
Mhm.
So it's a very difficult answer from my perspective.
Okay. No, that's fair. I understand. And I know sometimes how our employees view us is different than how we view situations.
Right.
I'm just asking, because I don't know, I don't get to find out, but I'm asking, given that the state of our country right now, there's so much going on politically, there's a lot going on where people are scared at home because of different raids that are happening across our country. Families are being deployed, families in Willingboro are being impacted with deployments to Venezuela and abroad. So I'm asking that you just continue to be mindful and gracious and graceful as we're working with employees. And I'm hopeful that you continue to extend grace to all of them as we extend grace to you as our employee. But I feel really compelled to just ask that you continue to extend grace and just be mindful how we're engaging one another, because there's a lot happening in our world around us. And we want to make sure we're taking care of Willingboro first.
Received.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments from council? All right, before we move on, Mr. Harris, we received your brief on the snow preparedness that we are doing for the impending snow that we're expecting this weekend. Would you be able to share with the community some of the measures that we've taken and let residents know what to expect when it comes to plowing and snow removal as we move forward? I know we've been getting a lot of commentary, especially on social media, about some of the ice on some of the interior streets. And I just want to, give a notice to let residents know what to expect.
Well, the township is actively preparing for the anticipated snow. I wish we had a more definitive target as to what that number is expected. It's been labeled anywhere from 2 inches to 12 inches to potentially up to 20 inches, depending on how the storms converge. We are asking the residents to be mindful of all of their requirements in regards to snow removal on sidewalks, to be mindful of the parking, to enable our plows and necessary equipment to navigate the streets. So we are doing all that we can do to prepare for the weather. We did go ahead and attempt to purchase $35,000 worth of salt. However, the salt purveyor does not have salt for not only Willingboro, but for anyone.
Yeah, I hear there's a salt shortage. So we do have some salt in our stockpile, but we were ordering more as a precaution.
Yes, we do have some salt in our stockpile. We have had conversations with the county to tap into their stockpile, but they are as limited as we are, but they do have an obligation to help us take care of their roads. So we are asking them to at least supply us with adequate salt to handle that, and they are going to attempt to deliver some of that to us by Sunday. So,
That'll be after the snow.
but we do have plans to do the best that we can. They have been out brining and preparing the road, so it may be just to the point where we may actually need to do more pushing of the snow more often. Our DPW director has gone and purchased cots and pillows and blankets so the team can camp out, because they can only drive so much and then they have to rest. But all hands are on deck in preparation for this particular storm.
Okay. And is there a minimum or an amount of snow that triggers the removal of snow on the interior roads?
2 inches.
2 inches.
Yeah, it
Okay.
needs to be at least 2 inches before the plows will go in and actually plow.
Okay.
And we are preparing the JFK Center and the Senior Center to be warming locations in case there's extended periods of power outages.
Okay. So we will have those areas available. Also, I just want to let some of our residents know that when you see the lines, you might see white lines on the major roadways. That's them preparing the roads. That's the brine truck going down and pre-treating the roads. I know sometimes, you might see it and notice it, but you don't know what that means. So that's what those white lines going down are. It's the brine for the pre-treating of the road. roads. So they have been out, and they'll continue to be preparing until we get snowfall, this coming weekend.
Yes. So Mayor, I do have Ms. Jackson with us who.
Hold on one second, Mr. Harris. Councilwoman Vaughn.
Thank you. Just one question regarding the preparing for the snow. Do we have any schedules for trash pickup over the weekends? Do we typically have trash pickup on Saturdays or Mondays?
Trash pickup is still scheduled.
So with the snow,
For Friday.
we
For-
don't do no weekends. Okay.
No. So if there is a period affected, it may be on Monday,
Monday.
but we anticipate that Monday morning, the snow will be pretty much done with, maybe some light flurries.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So yeah, with that, Willingboro, make sure you take care of yourselves, make sure you prepare your properties, with salt, cover your cars with tarps if you have them so that for easy snow removal, and everyone be safe. All right, now, Mr. Harris, you can continue.
Ms. Jackson, I was going to call Ms. Jackson. As we have circled into 2025, we have some exciting events coming up.
In 2026,
Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm sorry.
moving forward.
February is just around the corner, and we're looking forward to 4 great opportunities to celebrate real celebration. So we will open up with the Black History Art Gallery on Saturday, February 6th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Artists and artists, along with other on Saturday, February 1st. On Saturday, February 21st, we will host an artist talk entitled Still Here. Join us at noon also in the front entrance of the Kennedy Center to hear artists share their stories of resilience and courageous storytelling. And then on Thursday, February 26th, we will host our second annual Black History Month celebration. We are currently looking for poets, vocalists, dancers, and the like to be a part of this very special celebration as we mark the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. We're really excited about this year's event. And then we will close out the celebrations on Friday, February 27th with an open mic also dedicated to Black History Month. And this event will be at 7 p.m. and will be held in the Kennedy Center Banquet Hall. We are also preparing for our March events. This year's Phenomenal Women Awards celebration will be held on March 29th, and we are now accepting nominations. So if you know of a phenomenal woman who is excelling in the area of education, social advocacy, business and entrepreneurship, or government affairs, we are asking you to submit their name for consideration. And additionally, we are looking for nominations of high school female students doing extraordinary work. And if you know of a woman that you believe is deserving of the Lifetime Achievement Award, we will also be accepting those. And nominations will be going on until February the 6th. We want to remind that we have several classes, programs, and sports activities that are available and open to the entire community through our recreation department. A financial literacy workshop for scaling small businesses will be held on Saturday, February 21st, beginning at 11:30 a.m. This event will be held in the Baker Hall and is geared towards small businesses. And we do encourage you to take a moment to visit www.willingboroRec.com for more information about this event and others offered by our Recreation and Parks Department. We do want to bring to your attention that effective February 1st, the Senior Center will be closed on Sundays. So we want people to be aware of that. That's again on February 1st, effective February 1st, the Senior Center will be closed on Sunday. And as a reminder, we want you to stay informed and up to date by signing up for the weekly, following us on social media, and downloading the Willingboro app. We did find out at the summit
a couple weeks ago that we have a lot of residents that are not taking advantage of these resources. So we want to continue to remind you to stay connected and stay informed. Thank you so much. Any questions? Yes.
Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Ms. Jackson. I was wondering, is there a place where we can, or residents can see the previous honorees for the Phenomenal Women's? We can click somewhere.
Great suggestion. We can compile that list and share that so that people are aware, because you're right, there are a lot of women in our community that have already been nominated, so they'll give you a gauge of who has still need to be recognized.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
that question. I definitely will. We definitely do that. Any other
Any
questions?
other questions for Ms. Jackson?
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you so
Ms.
much.
Jackson.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, there is a plaque available in the Kennedy Center, but we'll make sure we circulate those names through a social media in the weekly. Okay?
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. That is it.
All right. If there's if there's nothing else for our manager, we'll go into our resolutions. Back to you, Miss.
Thank you, Mayor, again. So on our agenda for this evening, we have a few ordinances that are being introduced this evening, but they are all relative to the Township Clerk's office. So I will defer those to Ms. Savino for explanation.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. So we have 3 ordinances in front of you this evening for introduction. 1 and 2 are ordinances that that you've already seen, back in December. So ordinance 2026-1 is ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 342 of the Code of the Township of Willingboro entitled Taxi Cabs to update and expand regulations pertaining to limos and rename chapter 342 of the code to taxi cabs and limousines. The biggest changes with this, we did speak with the resident and business owner of the taxi company in town to work with him to take into consideration his concerns. So the biggest changes from what we presented to you back in December to now, we put in explicit language that takes out Ubers and Lyfts, and big companies that are exempt from this. We put in that language in the ordinance because they're already regulated by the Transportation Network Company Safety and Regulations Act. We gave him a temporary license that was due, or it was good until December 31st, 2025. We expanded it or extended it until April 1st, 2026 to ensure that, we're in compliance on our end with the ordinance, and he's in compliance on his end with having updated insurance and everything. We removed the requirement for the police to inspect each vehicle. We removed the requirement to have the fee posted in the vehicle. And we removed the requirement to appoint the township clerk as power of attorney. Those are the biggest changes to that ordinance. Ordinance 2026-2 is an ordinance amending chapter 150-9 of the township code entitled fees for licenses and permits to permit collection of unpaid mercantile licenses and add limousine fees. This did not change at all. The fees didn't change at all. We are just asking to add a limo fee, as well as allowing the clerk's office to collect unpaid mercantile fees up to 3 years. So if a mercantile or if a business didn't come in and pay for their license, we can charge them up to 3 years back. And then ordinance 2026-3 is an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 12 of the Willingboro Township Code entitled Boards, Committees, Commissions, and Authorities to establish a procedure for the selection of an environmental commission member to serve on the Township Planning Board. This just adds a stipulation in the environmental commission part of our code that instead of someone applying for the environmental commission and for the planning board to be the environmental commission representative, this will change it so that the Environmental Commission will pick someone from their board to be the representative of the planning board. And those are all the ordinances for you this evening.
All right, thank you, Ms. Savino.
So as far as the resolutions go, the resolutions being presented to you this evening for your consideration is resolution number 13 or 2026-13, which is authorizing the approval of vouchers for payment and ratification. Resolution number 14 is a resolution establishing a change fund for use in the Recreation Department. We are looking to establish a fund in the amount of not to exceed $200 for the purpose of making change to ensure a proper exact payment due is paid when necessary. This fund will be used for making change only and will not be used to make purchases of goods or services of any kind. Resolution number 15 is a resolution establishing a petty cash fund for the Recreation Department in an amount of $100. The custodian of the petty cash fund will be the Recreation Supervisor, Miss Ashley Ortiz. And that,
Opitz?
yeah, it's Opus, but on the, it's written Ortiz and it's Opitz, yeah. Opitz, and that petty cash fund can be utilized to purchase goods and services and is reimbursable with the presentation of a receipt. Resolution number 16 is a resolution authorizing change order number 3 for a contract with Think Pavers for the 2023 concrete repairs. They have submitted a proposal for $216,171 for the concrete repairs. This contract will be increased by $19,442.50, resulting in the revised contract price of $244,564.50, which is an 8.6% increase. This additional work, it was related to doing curbing and handicap ramps along the streets that are about to be repaved by PSC&G, and that type of work needed to be, it was recommended that it would be done before they came in and do the final repairs of those particular streets. So that's what that particular change order is relation to. Resolution number 2026-17 is a resolution authorizing an increase to the not to exceed amount for CSG law for 2025. So we are going to increase their not to exceed amount to $27,500 from $126,000 to $153,500, as this will be the totality of all of the billing for services that we receive from CSG Law in 2025. Resolution number 18 is a resolution authorizing an increase in the not to exceed amount for Riggins, Inc. to obtain fuel and diesel for the operations of the township vehicles. This is being increased by $25,000, and a good portion of this is because the school district's fuel pumps went down, and we did support them during the latter part of the year by providing them fuel, which we be reimbursed for, but we still needed to acquire the fuel to provide. Resolution number 19 is a resolution authorizing the Township of Willingboro to establish a not to exceed amount for Glenwood office furniture to procure office furniture for the Township Human Resource Training Room in the amount of $21,816. This is the training room that we are establishing next to the human resource offices that we will use for in-house training, meetings, and it's also a rentable space if anybody wants to utilize it for training opportunities as well. Resolution number 20 is a resolution authorizing the township to place municipal maintenance liens on properties that were abated by the township due to property violations. And the list is attached to, was the list attached to the resolution of the properties? Resolution number 21 is a resolution to enter into an agreement with Delta Dental of New Jersey for dental and vision plan coverage for the employees and retirees. Um, The amount due for the calendar year 2026 is estimated to be $215,000, which includes the anticipated monthly invoices for active dental Delta PPO enrollees and active retirees, which I believe there are three Delta Dental PPO enrollees. Resolution number 22. Yes. Is a resolution authorizing the township to enter into a 5-year lease agreement with Canon Solutions, a contracted participant in the Omnia Partners, formerly U.S. Communities. This is for the large multifunctional printer that is going to be installed in the communications department, replacing the printer that is currently in the JFK Center, which is no longer being serviced by the vendor. So we are looking to transition some of the services that we have been shipping out and making sure that they are done in-house. Resolution number 23 is a resolution approving a contract with approved Burlington County Cooperative Pricing System. This is I don't have the vendor list attached to this my copy of this particular resolution, but this is for particular vendors that we are doing purchasing with that are cooperatives. So we are required by law to approve resolutions authorizing the cooperative purchasing. So that's really what this resolution is pertaining to. The resolution number 2024 is a very similar resolution with the New Jersey Cooperative System, ESC&J, and those contracted vendors. Resolution number 25 is very similar. And those are related to the New Jersey State contracted vendors. And I believe that the services that we are procuring were attached to your versions of the resolution. And resolution number 26 is, again, very similar with Omnia Partners, and they provide us with a lot of electronic services like Office 365 and phone services. So those are those resolutions. Resolution number 27 is awarding a contract for municipal accounting software licensing and maintenance and related equipment with Edmunds GovTech. There are financial management software. Resolution number 28 is awarding a contract for lawn and landscaping maintenance services. We are recommending that the council approve this resolution. This will award contracts to vendors for lawn and landscaping services for township abated properties resulting from property violations. This is a $100,000. We have set aside $100,000 for these purposes, and we are awarding 5 $20,000 contracts to Abso Green CPW Management Services LLC, Mr. Roberts Landscaping Services LLC, Mark's Lawn Care LLC, and RJM Landscaping. Resolution number 29 is awarding the contract very similar, but for trash and debris removal services for township abated properties resulting from property violations. And we are set aside $100,000 for these services, and we are awarding five $20,000 contracts to Born Leaders, CPW Management Services LLC, Mark's Lawn Care, and RJM Landscaping. Resolution number 30 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract for fleet maintenance services. This is to enter into a 5-year agreement with AMCS Group Incorporated to acquire fleet maintenance software for the township fleet at a total of $47,961.25 over the 5-year contract period. And then resolution number 31 is a resolution amending resolution number 2025-302 to remove language as directed by the Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control, and that's in relation to a liquor license transfer.
Yes, so, we had the hearing for B Uno's, the liquor license transfer back, on the 22nd of December. I sent everything in and they finally got back to me and they wanted just, one of the lines removed from the resolution. So that's just what this is doing. And then I can send it back to them. That's the only thing that the state is, holding them up on at this time. We, got everything else good for them.
And I believe that that transfer was going from barbecue spot to B Uno's. Yeah. And that's all that has been presented to you this evening for your consideration.
All right, thank you. Madam Clerk, at this time, we'll move forward with the ordinances and then we'll move on to the resolutions.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At this time, I will request a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-01 entitled an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 342 of the Code of the Township of Willingboro entitled Taxi Cabs to update and expand regulations pertaining to limousines and rename chapter 342 of the Code to Taxi Cabs and Limousines.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman Perone. Any discussion?
Just one question.
Councilwoman Perone.
Thank you. Just one question. Madam Clerk, you stated that one of the items that was removed was that or changed, that the police department would not inspect the vehicles. So who would be inspecting the vehicles?
Division of Motor Vehicles, right?
The regular state inspection that everyone else goes through? Okay. Thank you.
And Madam Clerk, at the end of the title of this one, it says none at this time. Is that a typo?
Yes, that's a typo.
Okay.
It will not be on the ordinance.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on, I'd like to request a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-02, an ordinance amending chapter 150-9 of the Township Code entitled Fees for Licenses and Permits to permit collection of unpaid mercantile licenses and add limousine fees.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. And finally, can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-03, an ordinance amending and supplementing chapter 12 of the Willingboro Township Code entitled Boards, Committees, Commissions, and Authorities to establish a procedure for the selection of an environmental commission member to serve on the Township Planning Board.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Any discussion?
Yes, can someone explain to me the purpose of this?
Yes, so um on the planning board, there's required to be a member of the environmental commission to serve on the planning board. This would have the environmental commission select who instead of the anyone putting in like an environmental commission member also having to apply for the planning board. The environmental commission during their meetings would select which member would serve on the planning board.
So in other words, the environmental commission chooses who gets to be on a planning board?
So we're required to have a member from the environmental commission on the planning board.
Don't we already pick that person? Is that
We
what-
only had applications. If because people would apply to be on the planning board, but if they weren't also on the environmental commission, we couldn't accept their application for that spot.
That's how it's currently
Mhm.
written. This is the first reading? Is this-
Yes.
Okay, I'll look into it more then.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right. Are there any items that council would like to pull from a consent agenda? All right. Seeing none, I'd like to propose a consent agenda for resolutions 2026-13 through 2026-31.
So moved.
A second?
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman Perone. Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, sorry. Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy.
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to accept the same? To approve the same? Excuse me.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do not have a treasurer's report at this time, but we do have some minutes to approve. So, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm slowly working my way down December's list. Tonight you have in front of you the regular and executive meeting minutes for December 2nd and December 16th. Those were both our regular meetings. Can I get a motion to approve the December 2nd and December 16th regular and executive meeting minutes, please?
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do you have any updates?
Yes, I do. Okay. So bear with me because this is my end of 2025 update. So I wanted to give you a good comprehensive look of what the clerk's office did this year compared to 2024. However, I want to start with the Civics Plus implementation, at least on the clerk's office end, to keep you apprised of what's going on. So the clerk's office has 3 different modules with Civic Plus that we will be utilizing: their agenda meeting management, their PAD software, which is their boards and commissions software to keep track of boards and commissions, and Next Request, which is their Oprah software. So we had our agenda meeting management intro meeting last week, and we've started on our action items to implement this agenda module by May 1st. The next few months will be dedicated to training the employees and implementing the correct procedures to ensure we're getting the most out of this project and the most out of this product. Ms. Scott met with the PADS implementation specialist earlier this week to go over the boards and commissions module. This module will allow the township to keep better track of the various boards and commissions terms, as well as it will let residents apply online. and then we're on track to have this module implemented by mid-February. Finally, we have our next request implementation meeting next week to review the timeline for the Oprah module. With next request, residents will easily be able to submit and track their Oprah requests online via the Civic Plus portal. So I will have more details on timeline next week on that. But it was like a 6 to 8 week timeline. And then also some big news from the state. My office is in the middle of transitioning to online legal publication process. This was signed into law last June. Starting March 1st, all municipalities' official newspaper, official legal publication will be their website. So I'm working with communications to ensure that all the ads are located somewhere prominently on the website for that March 1st deadline to ensure we're in compliance. We will be publishing all of our legal notices still on as normal on the newspaper until March 1st, as well as a notice twice a month for all of this year to the newspapers saying you can find all of our legal ads at this link. So that's kind of what we're transitioning into, and that will all be completely set up by March 1st, but we're already in the process of kind of starting that.
And that was mandated by the state.
That was mandated by the state, yeah. And then so for our 2025 statistics in the clerk's office, we issued 126 3-year dog licenses and 146 one-year licenses for a total of $4,349. We issued 169 mercantile licenses totaling $26,684. This is a major increase from last year. It's almost $15,000 more. I would really like to thank the inspections department for collaborating with us to ensure, we're both kind of working together to see who's licensed, who's not licensed, and making sure we're going through the proper channels to make sure all the businesses are in compliance. We issued 30 200-foot lists for a total of $300. We approved 44 out of 50 solicitor applications for a total of $1,470. This is people wouldn't get approved. They either decide they didn't want to come back and do the fingerprint. I don't think we had anyone denied or anything. They just didn't follow through with it, but we still collected their money. We issued 2 cannabis licenses, one being new to the township this year, for a total of $35,000. We issued 3 liquor licenses and a transfer application for a total of $5,538. We issued 2 raffle licenses for a total of $20, and that brings the clerk's office revenue to $73,261 for the year 2025, and this is an increase of $18,000 from 2024. A big part of that is mercantiles and the new cannabis license that helped a lot. And that is all I have for you tonight.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Any questions for our clerk? All right, thank you, Samantha. And I did want to bring to council's attention, there you do have a folder on the dais. It is additional citizen leadership form submissions. Please take a look, and we will add those to our next meeting's agenda for appointment. All right, on to unfinished business. Our unfinished business, we have the Hometown Heroes banner project. Mr. Harris, do you have any updates on that?
So I will have a full proposal for you with numbers, specs, and all of those by your meeting in February, first meeting.
Okay.
I'm sorry, excuse me. You're going to have numbers can you let me know, what do you mean about numbers?
Prices, costs, what's going to cost to purchase the banners.
I sent that information already. The prices and
In
costs.
total, I think you sent the price of like each individual banner,
Right.
but what the cost of the whole project will be.
outside of the banners and the brackets, what other expenses are there and that
So I haven't seen any pricing that you sent. You sent.
you didn't see
pricing?
them? Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you
Okay.
because they're, it's pretty detailed. That's why I wanted to know what else are you looking for as far as pricing? And I know that our staff would have to put them up. I'm not sure if that was a part of your pricing too, as far as them putting them
No,
up.
not really, but it was the pricing of the banners. I brought back samples from the municipalities conference, but I didn't have any pricing attached with that.
Okay, all right, I'll send you, what I have then. Okay, thank you.
All right, Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In the spirit of Hometown Hero, I was wondering, as we're looking for ways to be able to honor the veterans, I was wondering if there was any interest in revisiting the paver project that we had in Mill Creek Park, because that was started by Ron Dash, as we know, the resident Purple Heart awardee, honoree. And that project was something he started, but it wasn't completed because it wasn't a township project. It was his project. He started it. He did the research. He got the pavers and things like that. I was wondering, would the council be interested in completing that project before we start the Hometown Hero project so that we can finish our like veteran memorial in the park where we do our Memorial Day event and like spruce up that area and complete the paver project? I know that they had looked at putting lighting over there because we have the flags, we have the pavers, the chains are there. Like it's a lot of the pieces are there, but it just was never finished. And I was just curious if the council was interested in us finishing that project, having more members of the community participate in that paver project before we start a new veteran initiative. I just wanted to present that for just consideration as we're talking about, you know, recognition and honoring our community members.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, for that. Any thoughts?
I just find them to be two different projects for the same purpose, so I don't feel like we should stop the Hometown Hero program to continue something that one of our residents started. I think the pavement idea it's awesome. He started it. I can't see why that can't be something that can be done at the same time. They're two different projects, like I said, for the same purpose. I'd like to see both of them to flourish. I wasn't on that project, like you said, another person was on that. But I rather just continue with the Hometown Hero program because I did do some research at least with that. I'm not sure what Mr. Dash did to get it done. So maybe even inviting him back to a meeting or something, asking what did he do, or is something you want to take on, Madam Deputy Mayor? But I don't think we should stop one because somebody else started something years ago. And as far as complete, the pavement we do have stone, we do have bricks that were laid, right?
Yeah, there are some bricks there. I know it doesn't look like the project is complete. I know when we do our Memorial Day, or our Veterans Day, ceremony out there, it could use some love to
Uplift,
complete it.
facelift, because I thought that that was supposed to be something that doesn't stop though. Like there would be somebody else and we lay another brick, we lay another brick. I didn't think that was a project that, I think maybe he started it and it was supposed to continue. As far as lights, I think we should put lights there anyway, regardless if we have the banners or not. It's something that should be lit. You know, the flags are there. And what else you mentioned that you thought as far as beautification? I think
Yes,
it
the
should be done.
beautification and the lighting that's over there,
Yeah.
the pavers. Well, it's just it's not something that no one's doing anything with it right now because he started it as a resident,
Mhm.
as an initiative, but the township never continued on with it. So like if someone wants to add additional pavers,
Right.
today, there's not a process in place to do that. But it's something that's already started. So to me, it was one and the same. I understand you see it as two projects related. To me, if it's about the recognition of veterans, we have one that's in place that just never, it's no work being done around that. So it to me it's similar. It can create the same challenge of we start the banner
Mhm.
project and then you still got to find and select people, and it's the same thing.
Selection of people, and I think you're right. And I think we talked about that for the Hometown Hero program as far as creating a resolution. So maybe we need a resolution for processes of selecting a person's name or being nominated to have a brick laid in their name, that's something that we can create a draft. I don't see why we couldn't create two drafts, one
And I think
for
it might be similar.
something.
You know, I think they may be able to be included in the same resolution for the recognition because the bricklaying and the banner are so similar. I
Right.
don't know if it needs to be two separate resolutions to do the same.
Honestly, I think it causes confusion, just like when Nat wanted to do the golf and he put too much into one. It's paper. We have resolutions. This is what we do. We create resolutions, we create ordinances, two sheets of paper, two different ideas. It's for the same purpose. This way it doesn't get confusing as far as what we're doing, what and how long it's, because the brick is not something that we're going to take out of the ground. It stays. The banner, we're supposed to take it down. That's what we had a little bit of discussion on, if it's going to be 1 year, 2 years. So the only thing that's similar is that it is for a veteran. Now, the banners, the idea is you don't have to be deceased. You can be a living veteran today and somebody nominates you and you can have a flag in Willingboro posted in your honor and receive, a proclamation. The brick, I think it was for people who passed away already. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know about it. I'm just saying, like, I know the brick does not get taken up. Two different projects, two different resolutions. That's how at least I'm seeing it. And I think when you add too much to, like putting too much laundry in the washer, it doesn't all get cleaned. Keep it clean, two separate resolutions, keep the thoughts, the hearts and minds in place for both, and let's just get it done. That's what I see. Let's pick that ball up again, the baton that was started by Mr. Dash, and continue it, like you said, Deputy Mayor, and let's jump off the ground the Hometown Hero program. I think we should do both.
All right, well, Mr. Harris will have some numbers for us forthcoming for the Hometown Hero Project, and I'm sure it'll incorporate the information that you forwarded. I don't think there was any other updates for the landscaping and the edging through town, and especially with the snow operations pending. I don't think it's at the top of any of our minds right now. So we'll discuss that at a later date. New business, vehicles and traffic. Mr. Harris?
So at the last meeting, I believe in December, there was a resident who had come and expressed some concern over parking on her particular street in Willingboro, which happened to be a cul-de-sac. After having some conversation, we developed a proposed ordinance to deal with the issues that she had presented to the council. But we did take it back to look at it again to make sure that we included dead-end streets in that particular ordinance. So it's still on the drafting table, and we will present it to you very near into the future.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Harris, for that update. Any, and I think that was regarding the residents on Spindlewood and Shield. I think Shield Lane and Spindlewood, I want to say. So we are addressing that. Any other new business? All right, seeing none. Spiralwood, there it is. Thank you. Spiralwood and Shield Lane. All right. If there's no other new business, we'll move on to public comment. This is our general public comment. You'll have 4 minutes. Please come up and state your name. There are cards in the back where you fill out your information in case we need to follow up with you for any reason. Public comment is now open.
So. Testing, 1, 2.
I think that one should be working now. Okay. All right. We'll use that. Good evening.
Good evening. So, my name is Hussein Haq. I'm a resident in Rittenhouse Park. And just wanted to come up and mention a few things regarding that, as well as some other issues or comments that I would like to make. First, I want to start by saying that tonight I went over to the JFK Center thinking that the meeting was going to be over there. And that was my own fault because I didn't read my text message properly. But I'm glad I went because there's proper lighting in the parking lot. So I just want to commend you all because I know that that was something I had brought up before at a previous meeting that we had, or that you all had over there. So it's good to see that the lighting is actually, working in the parking lot. So that was good. I forget which resolution it was that you all were talking about, PSC&G and the streets. And I know that there are several streets that need some work on. I mean, they did whatever they had to do underneath the pavement, but the street itself, it's like every 8 feet, it's like da-doom, 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 like as you're traveling in your vehicle. And so I think that that's something that maybe PSC&G need to be reminded to repave the street and make it smooth or something. I don't know if that falls on you all. So that was those two issues. And going into Rittenhouse, so I'm a resident there, and so we have an attorney that is acting as the attorney for our unit, our community. And this particular attorney has placed a lien on my property for time periods where my HOA fees had been paid. And it's a substantial lien, like close to $4,500, $5,000, somewhere in that area. And so the issue that I have with that is that he was able to do this without any legal basis or documentation, no certified copy from a judge, a judgment, or anything like that. He was able to go and put a lien on my property. And it's been clouded ever since. And I've been fighting it in the courts. Hopefully, by the end of this month, the judge will make a determination about the arguments that I put forth. But I just think that it's, I think that there's something wrong with that picture where I can just simply go to the clerk's office and say, I have a problem with this person or this entity or whoever it is, and be able to place a lien without any court documentation or anything showing that we've actually gone to court. Our bylaws doesn't allow for it. He has circumvented the bylaws. He's circumvented the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act as a debt collector attorney. And so all these things are happening. And I know at the last meeting, a young lady came up, Ms. Gray came up and talked about, some other things that are happening within the community. And she's absolutely right. We're not having our meetings, our monthly meetings for the members. That's not taking place. We don't receive proper billing. That doesn't take place. Like, there are so many violations that are taking place within our bylaws right now. And there's no one that we can turn to assist in this because the acting president is not holding meetings. So, and then on top of that, so one last thing,
I'm sorry, but that's your time. We will continue this, and as I said, I know I haven't set up a meeting with you as of yet, but we are working on it with our attorney, and I will set up a meeting with you shortly.
So he's had armed guards there.
I know, but your time's up, sir. We have 4 minutes.
right.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
Thank you very much.
Good evening.
Everyone, I am a resident of Willingboro. This would be my first meeting coming to just participate and inform myself, so I kind of wanted to.
Can you just state your name?
Sure, Lita Gutierrez. I'm in Garfield Park. And I kind of want to learn about the community and see how else I can show up for my neighbors, my community, and how to get more involved. Not done anything like this before, so I'd like to learn and be pointed in the right direction on how to just be more involved in the community and do something. And I guess that's it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you. Did you guys need this? or-
Yes, you can hand that right to the
Thank you.
clerk. Thank you. Any other public comment?
Good evening. I don't know if
Good
you know,
evening.
but I own the only transportation company in Willingboro.
Yes, sir.
So I hope you understand why I'm a little upset, because you're updating an ordinance that's only going to affect me, and especially it's going to affect me financially, when you're giving Uber and Lyft a pass or an exception because you're saying Uber and Lyft is regulated by the Transportation Network Act. But I'm regulated by the federal DOT and by the state of New Jersey limo law. So I just would like an explanation of why Willingboro decided to update this ordinance.
Thank you. Could you just state your name for the record?
John D'Amico.
Thank you. We'll answer. I'll give feedback after all of this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, seeing none, public comment is now closed. We'll start with Mr. Hawk. Thank you for the kudos on the JFK lighting. I think last time we were all there, they did have a transformer blow or something happened in the parking lot, and that lighting is back up. So thank you for noticing that. Mr. Harris, would you be able to give an update on the PSC&G roadwork completion?
So PSC&G is in the process of preparing to repair the streets that have been dug up, and they will be beginning that work when the weather turns.
All right. So yes, PSE&G did replace a bunch of gas lines throughout the community. You may see that strip going down the side of the road. All of those, excuse me, all of those roads are set to be paved this year. Is that correct, Mr. Harris? Thank you. And then for the Rittenhouse issues and the issues with the HOA, Mr. Halt, do you have any, I guess, preliminary thoughts on the township's involvement with the HOA?
Not at this time. I think I need.
Not at this time. I think I need to find out a little bit more about the gentleman's lawsuit and get the docket number, take a look at that, and it will give me more of an idea of what's taking place. So I'll speak with him after the council meeting to get the appropriate information and then report back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Ms. Gutierrez, thank you so much for coming tonight. We always love when residents come and take an interest in what we do here at the municipal complex. A great way to get involved is exactly what you're doing here tonight, to show up and understand what's happening on the meetings. This is where you get the most current information and an update on all of the projects and things that are going on throughout the town. So these meetings are very critical. Also, Ms. Jackson mentioned in order to stay up to date, sign up for the Willingboro Weekly. That's a weekly newsletter that goes out. And then the Willingboro Connect app, that is our own app that we send notifications out and things on. And then we do also have some spaces left on our boards and commissions. Our citizen leadership forums are online, or you can see the clerk to get more information on that and how to apply, what commissions have positions open, and if any of those areas interest you, you can participate in that way as well. But thank you, and I'm excited to see you here, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. All right, and then, Mr. Migo, yes, I know, you've been working with or talked to the clerk. Why we're updating this ordinance is that this ordinance does, so it does have some on the state, but we are required to have an ordinance locally because the township is supposed to be doing the licensing for limos. And our ordinance, we're bringing a lot of our ordinances up to date and making sure they're in compliance with the state regulations. And this is one that we found that we were not in compliance with. So that's what brought this on and what prompted the change in the update. All right, any other comments from council? All right, seeing none. We'll move to council comments unless you don't have anything. Council comments? Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I appreciate all the work that's being done, and I just want to reinforce to all leaders, our council, as well as all leaders, because I can't tell anybody what to do, but I can just send reminders. And I think it's just in the spirit of all the things happening in the world around us, let's just be reminded to take care of one another, to be good neighbors to one another. And I think about our values as a township, back to basics. It was something the council put together back in 2020 to remind us to get back to the basics. And it was betterment, accountability, service, integrity, collaboration, and success. And I think we just have to make sure that we are reminded that when we talk about service, it's not just about taking care of our residents, but we have to take care of one another as colleagues, as employees, as leaders, as supervisors. We have this storm that's coming up. Our state and our state is in fine leadership. We just got our governor sworn in on Tuesday, but across the nation, there's so many different things and so many challenges going on. Let's make sure that we're good neighbors to one another and that we're able to listen, to be heard, and to be understood. And when we speak gracefully and graciously to one another. Again, I just want to remind everyone, we have families in Willingboro that are being deployed across the world to serve our country with dignity and respect. We have people who are losing loved ones. I've attended too many funerals already in 2026. People are trying to figure out their jobs. We have retirees in our community who retired from the federal government in September 30th and October 1st, who still have not received a paycheck since they retired. There is so much going on around us. And I just want to remind us to be gracious and full of grace when we work together and to just take care of each other because you don't know what people are going through and what they're suffering with. So just a reminder to all of us, especially if you have people who work for you and who are looking to you for leadership, they're looking to you for guidance. Let's just take good care of one another. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Worthy. Any other council comments? Councilwoman Pearl.
Thank you. Just wanted to encourage everyone, thank you for coming out tonight, and encourage you to continue attending our meetings, and whether you have children or not, you should attend the school board meetings because, you know, we're all one community, so your tax dollars go there. You should have a voice there. Attend your utility meetings, the WMUA meetings. It's very important that you are abreast to what's going on. The planning board meetings, they are virtual. Just try to pop in and to hear what's going on and have a voice. Zoning board as well. These are important meetings that we do appoint bodies there, people there that have applied. However, again, it takes a village, right? So we are all the one village, and we need your eyes and ears and your thoughts. So I do want to hear from you. I know this is the first meeting of the year. I think we all agree that we want to hear your comments, your thoughts, and issues if there are any. Um, but that's all I wanted just to add. And I just bid you all a good evening and safe this weekend. And I know you've heard it before already, but check on your neighbors, especially our seniors, residents, because it's going to be pretty bad supposedly this weekend. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Pearl. Councilwoman McIntosh?
Yeah, I didn't have too much more to add. Those were my points I was going to say. But I do want to thank everyone for definitely coming out. Definitely be safe this weekend. As my colleagues have already said, this is an excellent opportunity to be neighbor, to be part of the Willingboro culture. I'm glad to see the excitement of being involved. That's part of, what we're looking for too. But there are definitely many, many, many opportunities to get engaged, even outside of what the township offers. There's baseball, there's sports, and just keeping block captains. There's a lot of opportunities to start bringing Willingboro more together. I grew up here, and it's not as together as it was when I was growing up, but I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity to make sure, even as blocks, or as streets, I should say, that we're cohesive. And again, great opportunity this weekend if the snow comes.
Let's hope it doesn't.
If the snow comes, a great opportunity to look out for each other, definitely, and form those bonds that I think are definitely needed in this community. So thank you everyone again for coming out.
Thank you, Councilwoman McIntosh. And lastly, I just want to say once again that every voice matters. As we're here and we do this work, we know that Willingboro is a community that was designed to work when everyone is working together, not just 5 council people up here making all the rules and deciding what happens. We do hear you. We take your complaints and make them into ordinances. We make sure that we're serving the community, and we expect and know that you all want to serve your community as well. There are other organizations within town that can always use support. We have a local NAACP that I'm sure would welcome more membership. We have Neighborhood Watch that is also welcoming additional members. There are, the Beloved Project is always taking volunteers to help pull together things for food drives and clothing drives. Our local churches many of them have food drives and always need volunteers to help pass out food. So that is one thing that I will ask all of us to do this year, is to just find one way that you can help out in an organization in town. And I'm not going to tell you what organization to help out with. There's so many to choose from, but find one that feels right to you, fits right with you, and just donate, even if it's only 2 hours a month. Donate some time to assist in all of the things that are going on, because when we all work together, we all grow and rise together. So thank you all for your attendance tonight. We do not have an executive session tonight, so I will ask for motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, will you retract your?
Yeah,
motion?
I retract. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Deputy Mayor.
I just wanted to wish a belated birthday to our beloved mayor, Samantha E. Whitfield. She celebrated her birthday this week. Our township manager had a birthday. Happy birthday to Mr. Harris. Happy birthday to the voice of Willingboro, Miss Tanya Jackson, and to Councilman Anderson, whose birthday is coming up as well. So if I missed your birthday for January, my apologies, but those are the ones that I know. But happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you all so much. All right, now I will ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All right, it's been moved by Councilwoman Perron, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Nope.
Good evening, Willingboro. Have a great night.